Welcome everyone to put it all on the table where real queens talk. That is a tongue tie. Um, Today we are going to talk about mental health
That's right.
awareness and the barriers to receiving mental health services for people in the community. So I am Raenesha Williams. I am the social advocate.
I'm Jay. I'm Jay with the ish.
I'm Jackie, the wellness advocate.
And I'm Roberta, the tool lady. And welcome.
That's
Yes.
right.
So
Welcome,
I'm
welcome.
so happy to be here again with you guys on this beautiful Monday. It's been rainy though, but the sun's starting to
Yes.
come out right now. So I can really appreciate this rain because all week it's been like 100 degrees,
Oh, girl,
close
tell me
to.
about it. I
Yes.
done snatched my wig off so many times. Hey, honey, that's why I'm wrapped up. Okay,
Period.
done had to snatch it off. You know. But
So the first one of the first barriers that I want to discuss is the lack of awareness. There's a lot of people in the community, especially when we talk about Black people and other people of color, who just totally have a very low understanding of mental health, what it is, what it means, how to get help, how to identify when you have mental issues, or even just that you don't have to have mental issues to get therapy. Like therapy is just good to just give you more tools to maneuver through life. Cause life gone life, and it's been lifing for me
it's
this week.
not life.
Really, life's been lifing for me for like 2 months, maybe three. And yes, I go to therapy, so I practice what I preach. Okay.
Yeah.
So I know for me in my experience growing up, I always heard like therapy is white people stuff.
Not white people stuff.
That's what I was told. And it was almost as if Black people kind of had this notion that we can get through anything and everything on our own because we always have. We come from this, we come from that, we come from the struggle, we've had it the hardest in the United States, blah, 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 blah. And we think we can just take it, and we can't. I mean, we're human, you know? A lot of us struggle in a lot of ways, and it's so normalized to struggle in the ways that we struggle. A lot of us just don't realize that we need help. Um, so, Jackie, what's your experience?
Same. It is more so like keep going. You got this. You're fine. Nothing's wrong. You have to keep going. You're a mom or your wife. You have to keep going. And even so, like with the wellness part, well, let me just take some time for myself, some me time. That's looked down upon. Well, you're a mom. You shouldn't put yourself. You know, you have to worry about your kids. Your kids come first before you do. And that shouldn't be the case, and that's not what should be told to moms, because
Right.
we also have things that we're going through. Like you said, life be lifing.
Ooh.
And sometimes it's not as easy as just saying, okay, I'm just going to push through it. I'm just going to push through it. No, you have to take time for yourself, to even reflect on what it is. Why is it that I'm feeling like this? Am I overworked? Am I overwhelmed? Am I trying to do too much at one time? Do I need to take a step back? So me as well. I also do therapy. I've been doing therapy for probably about 2 months or so now, and I can definitely say that it helps a lot. It
Yeah.
helps, having someone from the outside perspective, and give you those tools and say, well, what if we try this? And then if that doesn't work, well, we'll try this.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's no right or wrong answer either when you're there with your therapist. So it really does help, just to be there to just kind of like word vomit it out, right? Just let everything out of
It's
what's
a
going
safe
on.
space. It's a safe space.
It is a very safe space, but definitely in the Hispanic community, is they say échale ganas, which means just keep going. And
Oh,
it's
say that
yeah,
again. Say that
échale
again.
ganas.
I got it.
Échale ganas. And it's like, yes, I can keep going, but also I have to be real, and I have to realize that it's
Yeah.
something more going on than just
Not
feel the
even
guilt.
just that, it's also the fact that I don't have to do this on my own. Like I don't have to.
Yes.
I shouldn't have to.
Right.
And I'm glad you touched on the mother aspect because I don't have kids. Y'all know that. But I've been told like I don't. Someone has told me. I ain't gonna say who was. I don't know who's watching. But I'm gonna say someone told me like I don't think you should have kids because you like to take care of yourself too much. You like to get your nails done, you like to get your hair done, you like to get your feet done, you like to go here, you like to go there, and I'm like, am I not supposed to as a mother? Do you not deserve those things
You
when
still
you're
can. You
a
still
mother?
can do that.
Yeah, so it's just so many different layers to it that I think all play into mental health. Roberta, how about you? What's your experience?
I agree. Being African American, we are told we're strong. We're told to feel guilty for things, self
Mhm.
care, like you just
That's a
said.
good point.
If we take care of ourselves, then we're selfish, or we're putting our kids second, which that's not the deal. The deal is we have to take care of ourselves first. So
Mhm.
I believe I agree with you. The other barrier is, who haven't heard you crazy and not
Yeah,
being in a funny way, right? And you like, wow, because I'm struggling with some mental illnesses or my mental health, it may be this anxiety. It may just being uncomfortable with a crowd, but I got to be crazy. So it's so much stigma. For me, myself, I just get tired of being strong, to be
yeah,
honest
that's
with
what
you.
someone just said.
I
I'm tired of
have built up some resentment of people being strong. Yeah, because I'm human. And like you say, life will be life. So I appreciate it.
Me,
Mhm.
me, me drink. Okay.
Me too. Cheers.
Well, here's. Okay. hmm Well, me, that sound good and all, y'all. But I don't go to therapy. I'm just like people out there. Like, I'm not about to have nobody come here and tell me what to do, even though that's my field. But I don't know. I think I'm the type of person that I always been the strong person on both sides of my family. I feel like I'm the only person that kind of like put it together. I'm where everybody can call on and things like that. So honestly, I really don't have nobody to call on.
Which is why you should get therapy.
Yeah, but the thing is that I do agree with therapy. I do believe that everybody should have a therapist. But I feel like from like the viewers out there, I honestly feel like that I rather for okay, I'm finna tell it that my mother or my friend or my cousin, I should be able to count on them because they know me well than going to a stranger and for that stranger to tell me how to solve my problems.
Well, that's why they're the professional. They're trained in it. Your friend and your cousin are not.
Okay.
Just like you trained in yours, you help these people because their friend and their cousin can't help them out the way you can because you're educated, you have the experience, and you have the tools and the resources.
Okay. But then you also got to look at it like, okay, do I really want to lay on the table and tell these people my business?
You don't have to.
But what's the point of
and that's why you should go because your therapist gonna tell you can get as deep as you want when at whatever level that you're comfortable at. And if you get to a comfortable enough level, you can really you don't have to work on all your childhood trauma and all the crazy stuff you've been through. You can literally just go in there and be like, hey, life been life, and so I just need some extra tools or some extra support. Because I know us as what we do, mental health professionals, we do have the tools, but it's a little bit harder from my experience at least to use the tools that I encourage or teach my clients to use because I'm emotionally distressed. I'm struggling. So it's hard for me to make myself get up and use these tools. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I struggle with depression real bad. So I need a lot of accountability. So I feel like my therapist I'm spending my money.
Right.
So I ain't got no choice.
Right.
And she really holds me accountable. I encourage you to do that.
Yeah, I'm
I'm,
going to
I'm
agree.
not.
It's the accountability part for
Yes.
me as well. I suffer real bad with depression and anxiety, and I'm gonna be real and say that I've been recently struggling
Yeah.
again, having lack of motivation to do anything, to even just simply get off the bed in the mornings. So it's something real hard to live with, and you have to know what tools can I use, and the therapists, they provide you those different tools,
Yeah.
and practicing mindfulness or just moments of to myself to kind of work through what is going on.
I even have
But
goals.
and I'm gonna say something, with I think I heard it twice. I have to be strong for my family. I have to be strong, for everyone else. But just like it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to not be the strong one all the time either, because you're taking all the load, and you have to realize that that really does take a mental toll on you, worrying about everyone else and trying to be strong for them. And I can't feel sad, or I can't feel overwhelmed because I got people rely on me. But yes, you can feel like that, and you have to allow yourself to
Mhm.
feel what you're feeling, and allow yourself the grace as well to say, I am not okay, and I have to work through this. So that's why the therapist is there, because you can talk to your friends and your family, but at the same time, they may give you contradictory, advice. They may give you what works for them, not necessarily what will work for you. So I'm the type of person that, yes, I'll come to my friend. I'll say, hey, I'm feeling like this. Or sometimes, honestly, no one will know what's going on with me. Everyone
Mhm.
thinks everything is okay, that I'm fine. Oh, she's happy. She's posting pictures. She's doing this. Nothing's wrong. But in my wedding in April 2021, I was depressed.
Yeah.
Literally, I was very depressed. And but I had a smile on my face the whole time. No one would have ever known.
But I just want to let you guys know I'm not against a
Oh
therapist.
yeah, we know.
Yeah. Okay. Because
But
look at
I
my
can
family.
kind of feel you too,
Yeah.
because even with me being a mental health professional for 5 years and took 6 years to get my degree, I was hella nervous
Right.
get going to therapy for the first time. I'm even second guessing, like, dang, do I really need to do this? Like, what's gonna happen? I think more or less for me, I was afraid to go through the emotions, like having to actually sit down and face my emotions and deal with my
Yes.
problems. I am very avoidant,
I
100% avoidant.
I think with me it's just more so the lifestyle, how busy I am. Not 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 having a time to worry about self, because it's so much stuff. We gotta also understand it's people out in this world that have so much going on that they really can't focus on self. So how can I get, so the therapist is the main goal, but how can I take them baby steps to reach my goal? How can I say, okay, because sometimes people can't even get out of bed. It's times where I done got out the bed and I'm like, oh my God, I'm already down. Why am I down? And the
Mm-hmm.
day haven't even got started.
Yes,
Because it's
I'm
so
done.
much stuff that people go through
Mm-hmm.
that day before, last week, and it's so much
Last month,
barrier
this
that they
month.
put on themselves to the point that, hey, you want me to drive to therapist or get on a Zoom call? I can't even get up out my bed. So what some tools that we can take where I can at least get out my bed and brush my teeth or wash my
See?
where's our buzzer for these cussing words? Where's our buzzer for these cussing? Or I can't go, you know. So we need to first, what I'm saying, before we could just say the therapy.
No, I
So
understand it. But you can lay in the bed and get on a Zoom call.
come on, Roberta. Come on, give me the tools where I need to get up, shake wash you know.
Well, for one, I agree with all of you guys. We all got a different view at it. But I just want to back up just a little bit before I answer your question. With the family thing, see, the worst thing you can do is tell a family member something that you don't want to hear again. and you hear it on Thanksgiving or Christmas, or when you really, you really ain't feeling it. So that's the safety zone of getting somebody outside your
Girl,
family.
you better lay
Because
it on
sometimes
the
with family, you
table.
don't
I was
mean no
gonna say that.
harm,
I was gonna say that. You
Right.
gotta talk to somebody from a
but
non-biased
we're
standpoint.
still,
Sometimes family don't hold us accountable like we need to be.
Okay, because Thanksgiving is going
that's
on.
right.
Right.
Okay, feet.
And it'll go down. Hey, and they'll
Right.
take the pot of chitlins with them. You heard me?
That
Okay.
part.
And leave
The
my
other part
food.
is practicing affirmations in the morning. How important you are.
That's
You
really
are
good.
worthy. Just practicing that every morning. When I get up, I do it. I have to,
Mm-hmm.
because I have to center myself. So affirmations, get you some
And
affirmations and
believe
put
it.
your goals. Like you say, you
Mean it and believe
get
it.
you some goals that match that. I'm successful. That's right. To know this is absolutely not my best day. So
Mm-hmm.
Ranisha was saying, I got my emotions. So we got to be aware of our emotions. So many people hide them, but it's real and we're human. So we got emotions. So even if we are trying to hide them, we're just keeping them inside, which what happens to things that are inside of you? They explode, ladies. So
Mm-hmm.
I think affirmations, knowing, having a goal, setting boundaries, having a balance, all of those things can start you on the right path. But
Especially.
and then the last thing about us all, we do help so many people, and we hear so many stories. So secondary trauma is real, ladies. We do
Mm-hmm.
have to be aware of that too, because sometimes it's just not our family or our stuff, other people's stuff. I've
Mm-hmm.
took someone to work with me one time, and once we got off of work, she shadowed day, and she wanted witness so much in one day.
Yeah. Right.
So we absorb all that, and like Jay said, being the women we are with that calling, we don't even pay attention to it, but we do have to because we got to care for ourselves first.
And you have to do it for yourself before you do it for
All
other
right,
people.
Renisha, I'm gonna hand it back to you.
You
Yes.
have to do it for yourself before you can do it for other people,
Right.
especially in the line of work that we do. Like Roberta, you like you just said, it's mentally taxing. And I think we've all been doing it for so long. We just used to it. We're used to it, not realizing how heavy it is for us on the daily, not realizing how hard it is or how much it's like me. I didn't realize for a long time how much it was contributing to my depression until I took a break. And I was like, hey, ever since I've been off this job, I kind of been feeling a little bit better.
Right.
So just taking care of self first so that we can pour into our clients and around us too
Right.
can make a world of difference. And I like what you said, Roberta, when you were talking about, or someone else said something about stuff that family can't do for us. I feel like what I like the most about therapy is this woman is coming from not only a trained and licensed viewpoint with tools and techniques that can help me out the way I really need to be helped out. She's also non-biased. She don't know nothing about me. She don't know nothing about my childhood. She don't know nothing about what I go through on a daily basis. She doesn't know any of that. So listening to her viewpoint and the things that she's telling me from a non-biased standpoint, I think really helps me better than just listening to my mom. Because my mom is my mom.
Right.
Yes. So,
Right.
So
Right.
I wanna, okay. I want to go a little deeper because I know last week we talked about relations
hmm
and so by people that's not having the tools and strategies, do you think like they become vulnerable and that's when that they kind of like accept anything and everything
in a
as
relationship,
far as like in a relationship?
potentially.
Like so if I'm not taking care of self or making sure that I'm okay, do you think that my relationship gonna be successful or succeed?
You're going to have some problems.
Mm.
You can't be a good partner if you're not even taking care of yourself. You have to do it for yourself first. Whatever you carry gonna spill over into your man.
What I can't, why I can't do both? Why I can't just take care of me?
Because if you can't even get out the bed in the morning,
Okay,
how you
back
gonna show
hurt.
up? How you gonna show up for your man? How are you gonna be the woman that he needs you to be on a daily basis?
But why I can't just keep hiding how I feel? Like why I have to show him what I'm dealing with? Why
You
I
don't.
just can't put it to the side and deal with it by myself and and
I
still
like
be
the
that
way you
wife.
tied
And
this
yeah,
together.
you know I'm
Come
tired.
on.
Come on, baby. Come on, Jackie. What
Yeah,
you
Jackie,
think, Jackie?
let me-
See, Jackie.
So your question is, do you have to share what's going on with you with your partner, or what was it?
So basically, I'm saying that do I have do it? How can I put this? Like, can I do you think by me not having the tools and strategies or whatever make me vulnerable? So that was like a statement slash question. But I was like, well, and then Raenesha was saying that I can't be in a relationship if I'm all over the place. And then I'm like, well, why I can't just hide that, work on me, and not show that to my spouse? It's unfair to not communicate with your partner. Okay, Miss Kesha. Why
Yeah.
is not unfair? But is it really considered unfair, or is just
is.
really just not trying to get my husband too or my spouse too concerned while I'm juggling or dealing with this?
But your
Why I always gotta tell him everything?
Your
See, that's why I
husband
can't get married, y'all.
Girl, shut
No,
up.
I'm be single for the rest
Your
of my
husband is
Because
no,
Don't say that.
they're your partner. So
He's
your
gonna know
partner,
he's going through
your
something.
significant other, they are yours. There's number one, they should be the person that you want to share everything with, right? And let them know that something's going on. I feel like this. And see, with my husband and I don't even have to tell him. He already knows. He can already see the signs when something's wrong. So he'll pick up the slack, on stuff, and will be lenient and understanding. And also on the flip side, he'll also hold me accountable and be like, you can't, just sitting up and laying up in the bed is not good for you. So get off of the bed. So you have to communicate with your significant other. And to your question also, can you be, or maybe this was maybe what you're trying to ask, can you be trying to get in a relationship while you're still trying to work through stuff? I don't know. I'm not sure if you can get into a relationship while you're still trying to figure yourself out. I don't know, but honestly, we all have something going on all the time. There's no person that is 100% okay.
But he
Right.
should be accepting me for me. So if he see me come out just swinging, that just know that's me and accept me, and then I might cry the next day. Then he might think I'm bipolar. Maybe I do need therapy. Lord, I just need therapy. Maybe I do need therapy.
And I also want to point out the fact that in Black women, it's usually, I'm not going to say show up because I don't like that word. It's usually interpreted as aggression or anger or agitation, right?
Right.
So, like for me, I've noticed sometimes when I'm depressed, I'm just irritable. So I'm just walking around irritable, and everybody around me can tell I'm irritable, or I'm displaying certain emotions. And a lot of the times our emotions can be misconstrued, and it's always we angry. Mm-hmm. So I think with that, that's also another good reason to let your partner know, not to say that he just think you're an angry Black woman. It's just the way the world is sometimes. It's important for them to understand what's going on for you, one, so they can show up for you.
Do you really think all Black women angry?
No, I do not. No. I don't. I just think that's how we get interpreted a lot of the times. It's mistaken.
Girl, have you met my
Hispanics? Latins, we're spicy.
Yeah, with them it's spicy. With us it's angry. You know how that goes.
in turn, spicy means like aggressive too. That's what it means. We're too come off too strong and things like that. So, but I think you have to I'm married and I'm having to work through myself, right? I'm in a healing journey. There's no destination. This is a journey. It's always something that's gonna get anything can trigger me, or really nothing can trigger me. It's just, it goes back, scientifically, it's the chemicals in your brain. Everyone's brain operates differently. So it's just, you just have to work through it. Communication is key. We talked about that last week as well. You have to communicate with your significant other of, what's going on, how you're feeling. So, and like for me, so that he knows it's not him.
Yeah.
You have done nothing to me. We're fine. I'm just going through something.
And life is lifing.
And
Okay.
life is life. Yeah.
So the other part I wanted to talk about also was the access to care. I know for a lot of
Right.
us, there's a limit, especially in a lot of low SES or socioeconomic communities. There's a huge lack of resources available for people, and sometimes if there are, it's just too expensive. So I
It's too
wanted to
expensive, or long wait lists.
yeah, because there's one or two centers in this whole side of town.
Yes.
So that's one thing that's always been kind of concerning for me. Like myself growing up, I probably can only think of maybe one center that was probably built when I was 13. Um,
I think
that
that
had me.
the resources are out there. It is out there. I think the people don't know it's out there.
Sometimes.
So because I know with coming into the mental health, I did not know all these resources was out there. Some people, you got to also understand that people sit at home and they stay in their little bubble.
That's true.
They don't go out to community events and things like that. So it's just that more so like getting that information out there,
Which is another barrier.
which is another barrier. Yeah.
And it also goes back to that, you just got to get through it kind of thing mentality, so they've never learned that you can seek help, and where to seek it as well. Because it's out there, but it's that stigma that's aligned with, if I go seek help, like then I'm tagged with something, then that defines me. And
Right.
that, and then when you do start or want to start the journey, you have to go into the open mindset, and you got to realize that whatever diagnosis it is that you get, that it doesn't define you. It's not who you are. You are more than just your diagnosis.
Correct.
But it gives that therapist the opportunity to say, okay, I know that this is what's going on. This is what the diagnosis is. I know what tools to give you based off of your diagnosis, so they know how to help you. But it really goes back to that stigma. If I go get help, what is everyone going to think? They're going to think I'm crazy. They're going to think that's the main thing, is they're going to think I'm crazy. Honestly.
Is it that they think you crazy, or they just don't feel like a therapist can help them?
Both.
Mm-hmm.
Both.
It's that fear of, if I go get help, then I'm crazy.
I think I just think people don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. I just feel like people know. They got a sense. They sense that it's a problem and something is going on. Like I can sense that, hey, I have this issue going on with me, but it's up to me to put on my big girl beep and go get help. So
I don't know. I feel like that, and I feel like that in certain cases. Like for me, from my experience, I didn't grow up in the best neighborhood. I probably grew up on the worst part of town. And how things were then, and me being younger and not being educated, a lot of us did not know something was wrong with it because it was with us, because it was so normalized. So I'm thinking this is just the way life is. This is just the way I'm supposed to feel. This is how we all feel. This is how we all go through it. This is normal. I ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm just getting through it and keeping it pushing. So I think again that stigma and that lack of education can kind of just tell people, like when my grandma died, I'm sure I was depressed. But looking back, I don't think I realized I was depressed. Looking at my symptoms and how I maneuvered life, I'm pretty sure I was. But at the time, I was just like, oh, this is normal. This is just how I feel. I'm just sad about it a little bit, but I'm okay. I wasn't okay. I wasn't okay at all. I missed school for a month. I was not okay.
Right.
So, Roberta, did
No.
you have the tools, lady? Did you have anything?
Can I interject?
Yeah,
Yes, since
said that in a minute.
I did before we go farther. Here in Texas, I know that we have NIPA, NTBA. I
Girl,
tell
come
people to
on.
be honest when you give them a call. They're very resourceful. They're
Yes, they
resourceful
are.
about getting you off the streets, getting you into placement, getting you into housing. They're
Mm-hmm.
resourceful about getting you treatment, medication, even inpatient medication.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was, I'm not from Texas and moving to Texas. I thought that was a plus here because I am from a state where you got to have the money
Mm-hmm.
or you got to have some type of other leeway to actually get treatment. But here in
Right.
Texas, you can get grade A treatment,
Mm-hmm.
and the state will pay for it. And that's one of the
Right.
agencies.
And
But
they do a lot of
going
mental
into
health
what Jay
regulations.
said, you gotta be open to it. You just gotta tell the truth. And
Right.
the last thing is what you were saying. I was thinking about it. The generational. Some of us got generational things going on, and just because our family agreed with it and allowed it, but we never
Mm-hmm.
did anything about it. So now here we are faced with the same thing. So that's why it's not a good reference because they didn't know what to do with it. Some people even hid, the elderly or the mentally ill in their home in a locked door, in a locked room.
Yeah,
That's how people dealt
very
with it when I
sorry.
was a kid because they didn't want people outside knowing about it. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
we
So that,
do need to be more open to changing
that
and challenging how we used to do things. And that's
yes. So
it.
the next thing I wanted to touch on was you guys, I guess, opinions or thoughts or whatever, or just discuss how there's a lack of cultural competent care,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I know, like, um, we can just be honest and say the mental health field is predominantly white. It just is. That's just the way it's always gone for the many reasons that we've discussed here since we've been live. So I personally feel like me as a Black American, it might not be that difficult to find a therapist that's competent in my culture or my experiences in the world. But it might be a little bit more difficult for somebody who might be like maybe maybe even religious, like Muslim, or somebody that's from a whole nother side of the world where a lot of us here in the Western culture aren't very competent in their culture and the way things are. Because it is important to understand cultures when it comes to providing people therapy.
Why is that important?
Well, because you got to understand at least a little bit about the person or what they go through or their
The
belief systems.
culture or the person?
Both, because the culture affects the person. Like me and you gonna be totally different from somebody in India or somebody from Jordan or
Girl,
somebody from China.
girl, I got 3 different personalities, so I don't. No, but
Cheers to that. So Jackie, come on, chime in for me, sis.
um definitely cultural competency it plays a lot. Like for myself, my therapist, she's Hispanic, so she can relate when I'm talking to her. She can relate to things, yeah, and say, yes, I know. In our culture, we are seen as we have to be the caregiver, we have to be it all, and we have to be okay. And she can bring it from that perspective. She knows where I'm coming from because we grew up, in the same, kind of in the same environment, right? So it does play a lot. And also, if I were to, if it was a different race, I mean, they really wouldn't be able to comprehend maybe the struggle of saying, well, it's not okay for me to just leave the dishes, because that's
so
just not what you
hold
do.
on. I'm not trying to cut you off. So basically, what y'all trying to tell me is that I need to get somebody my my same race
I mean, if
in
that's
order
important
for
to you,
me to
if
in
that's
order
If
for
it's
important,
them to
important to you,
understand me.
On a deeper level, yes, because think about it, a white woman can't understand the things that you
How you
face
know that? She
because
might,
she's white. She don't experience what you
but
experience.
she probably have. You know how many
How's she
white
gonna
people?
experience that something from a black woman if she ain't black? She don't get treated like you get treated. She don't go through the same things you don't
But
went
she
through.
might go through the same stuff I don't went through, but she just white. So
But
she
it's
probably
not.
grew up. She probably grew up from the hood, just like
Girl,
her.
bye.
Her mom.
But even if she did, she grew up white in the hood, not black. So her experience is still different. Her experience is still different.
Well, I'll be damned.
It's true. Just like
Right.
me and Jackie might have wrote Jackie from Oak Cliff, but her experience is
Yeah.
probably a little bit different than the average person that grew up in Oak Cliff. Because it fucking sucks. Like, excuse my language,
Yeah.
it's shitty as hell. But that's just the way things are. Like when I talk to my therapist and I talk about the things, or like, because our experiences in the world based on who we are have a huge effect on the type of person that we become. So when I talk about those issues that I have, like we talked before, the superwoman syndrome, being black and being super strong all the time, and how we're talking about now, even in the Hispanic community, like, but there's still differences, and that's okay. It's okay.
Okay, you can
Baby,
continue.
I folded up my cape.
Period.
You can continue,
Cheers.
Jackie. I'm sorry.
Oh, I
Cheers.
just
No, yeah,
said
no,
I
I would.
folded,
Yeah, I was just
I just said
answering.
I folded up my cape. That's all I said. I gave my cape away.
Yeah, no, it does play a lot into it. Having someone from the same background as you really does bring their advice. And maybe it's more. I take the advice. I'm more susceptible to taking the advice too,
Yeah.
perhaps,
Mm-hmm.
as well. And but I know that when I was searching, I was like, I want a Hispanic therapist. Not that, and that's not saying that a black therapist, a white therapist would not be able to help me, but it's just I wanted someone to know where I'm coming from,
That can relate.
Mhm.
Okay.
that can relate to some degree, because even then, being within the same culture, you still can have different experiences. There's Hispanics that do grow up in high class neighborhoods. I grew up in a low middle class neighborhood. I grew up, if anyone knows Oak Cliff, near Wynwood Village. So I grew up in parts where oh no, that's not a bad part. The bad part in Oak Cliff supposedly was South Oak Cliff, and it's like,
Right.
so it's just it plays, and it is important for the therapist to have that knowledge and understanding of your culture, because they
Exactly.
share
Some
it as well.
Hispanics grew up in black households.
Yes, Afro Latino, absolutely.
You call them what?
Afro, and then
Afro
Afro
Latino.
Latinos.
You know,
Oh, okay.
Right.
Afro
look,
Latino.
I be doing my homework, baby. Trust me.
Well, tell me, what's Afro Latino?
Mhm.
That's
You
a
be-
real
Yeah,
you be-
Afro
like being black and
Latinos,
being
but
Latino. Well, Latino.
mixed.
Come
They're
on,
mixed.
Jackie, chime in, explain it to us.
Afro Latinos are Hispanics that are mixed, basically. But you also have Afro Latinos, like you have the Dominicans and Puerto Ricans. Some are Afro Latinos because they have like the hair texture, the skin color, and there's in every country, Hispanic country, there are individuals that look mixed, but no, they're from over there. Those are Afro Latinos, and the Afro Latinos that you may have here that probably born here and have maybe one black parent and one Hispanic parent. Um, I think they tend to suffer, and I think maybe well, I know for mine because I had some cousins that are mixed. They tend to suffer from like, well, I'm neither there or here.
Right. That's understandable. Roberta?
From shaming, from being shamed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just said from being shamed. From being shamed, we can get whitewashed some kind of way. But you know what I'd like to say too with our culture, all of us are not the same. Even if we're all black, uh, if we're all we don't do the same thing in the house. To kind of go to what Jay was saying, I may run my household totally different than you guys run your household, and that's my culture. So our cultures are even more micro than what we think,
Yeah.
because just because you might do something and that's what your culture do, it may not, because I get people, can you sing? No. Do you play the
And
piano?
everybody think all black people can
No.
sing.
No,
Can you
in
fry
Hispanics
chicken?
can. And oh, can you
Sometimes it
cook?
depends on how I feel. But that's not my
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mhm.
right. Right. So we all different, and I
Yeah.
think it is different when it is takes an understanding of that caregiver or that therapist or clinician to understand that, yes, to be aware of that. Yes, we are all different. You can't expect one, and like Jay was saying, for us to be angry. So can I just say she angry because she might not be, is
Yeah.
because we all are different people.
Mhm.
So yes. All
Yes.
right, I'm gonna hand it back to you, Miss Raenesha.
Okay.
Thank you.
I mean, those were the main points that I had. Do we have a? Is it time for a? Do we have a letter today, or do we miss out on one?
Let me see, y'all. But how y'all day going? How's
It's
everybody
going. Y'all
doing?
know I'm going to Cancun tomorrow, so
Wonderful.
What?
Yeah.
Turn up. Take me with you.
Ooh, enjoy.
I was just telling myself today,
Right.
like,
Enjoy.
yes. I was like, I've been struggling. I need a vacation. I need to just check out mentally and just enjoy the beach. That's
yes,
really what I need.
definitely doing that. Is that me time, that self care time, pouring into myself so I can pour into others.
Yes.
Okay. So I before my phone went dead, I was reading one. But I believe her name was Ashley. She was just basically saying that she feel like like I was saying, like she busy. She really don't have time for a therapist, and she really don't have time to revisit her damage. Like she said, she already done moved past it. That she don't want to relive it. She just want to like move forward. But
Mm-hmm.
the thing is that like she breaks down, she
Mm-hmm.
clash and all of that. But she's saying that she's breaking down because of the situation that has happened right in front of her. So,
Mm-hmm.
for example, she probably been through.
Oh, see, someone said she moved past it, but has she healed? I was about to
Come
say
on,
she
Exactly.
moved
move.
past it, but she didn't deal with it. She didn't
Mm-hmm.
go
Yeah,
through it.
exactly. For
Well,
example, like and I'll just throw this out there. For example, like if somebody in they past like been through domestic violence, so
Mm-hmm.
now they married, and all of a sudden they never heard their spouse yell before, and all of a sudden he like, you sit your beep,
mhm.
you know,
With these
beep,
things.
okay, and she just flash out, she crashed. But
Mm-hmm.
with her, she said that I only crashed and flashed out on him because he was yelling at me. But
Mm-hmm.
was you really clashing out because he was yelling at you, or
Is it deeper?
deeper than that? Like,
Yeah.
did you, because of your previous experience from that domestic violence, you thought he was gonna slap the
Come on, she could be bringing baggage into a new relationship. Exactly. And
okay?
that speaks to what
Yeah,
you were talking
exactly.
about earlier.
Yeah, so like that's why I was saying, like, is it healthy for me to go into a relationship and I know I have issues? But do I want to really lose out on that opportunity or that good man all because I have some issues? Or do I really believe that I can really just push it a little to the side, deal with it myself, and then try to get it toxic? Oh, who's toxic? Okay.
I think you can do. I think you can do both. Like you said, as long as she communicates
Yeah.
with her partner and she seeks the help, because obviously, like we all agreed, she she's probably just suppressed it.
Right.
She's let it go. She's accepted the fact that it happened, but she hasn't really healed from it. And I hate to use that word, but she probably hasn't healed from it or dealt with the trauma.
But but would he really judge me? Like I come and
I
I
would
tell
hope not.
you, I done been in situation where the partner that I'm with, that's the reason why that last
Oh no, that ain't the right one.
that's the reason why that last one left you. So like that's what
Then she ain't missing out on nothing.
a lot of times people felt Take accountability and fix it. Yes, you should take accountability and fix it because a lot of times people don't want to tell their future spouse because they don't want to bring it up, like in an argument.
But
Like,
is it
you know,
oversharing?
huh? Oversharing? Oh, but I thought I thought it's no
Oversharing?
such
Is
thing
it
as
oversharing?
oversharing. I thought it was no such thing as oversharing in a relationship. You're supposed to tell all your business. Was all up under them, and up under them,
Girl, I don't think it's oversharing. It's something that affects the relationship.
No, ma'am.
Uh, you just said
No,
I didn't
ma'am.
put all my business out there.
In the podcast we put it on.
Yeah, but
Girl, you know
for
I'm
one, you
putting
got
it
to
on
be
the
in a
table.
relationship. So if that person's in a relationship,
You said, is she in a relationship?
Is the person in a relationship?
Is she?
I don't
no,
know.
I just said you got to be in the relationship. You can't. Yeah, you can't just meet a person and say this is a relationship. You know what I'm saying? That's gotta
They
be
gotta
a,
get to know
a
you.
phase, a process before you even can get to that time where that person where you can, okay, this might have happened, this happened. Until you can get that person that part,
Let me
because some
see.
people they're not even deserving to even hear it, really, and it's
True.
oversharing.
Yeah,
Cheers to
but cheers to that.
So
But
I'm just asking, like, where at in the relationship, like,
if I cry with you and I'm open, then we in a relationship. Sure, like we love each other. You know,
Come on, situationships are the all-time high. That is very true.
Hmm.
I don't share any of that until I know for sure that I don't share any of that until I can tell 100% that this is not a situationship and we're actually going to go somewhere and you're serious about me. Up until then, I might share here and there just so you can understand me at least at a surface level. But once we agree that, okay, this is getting serious, we want to move to the next step, then I'll probably start opening up a little bit more. Oh, I got a head clap.
She's so cute,
I got a
right?
head clap.
She cute or whatever. Okay.
Jackie, you want to chime in?
I think, like we said, she may have moved past it, but she's got it obviously triggered her, because she really never tried to deal with it and know how to handle future situations. Even he didn't mean any harm from it. Maybe they were both arguing, something happened, he screamed, and it triggered her. So definitely could benefit from trying to find the time. I mean, you don't have to go see a therapist every week. You can see him once a month. It's all on your time, and we all know our schedules and we know when we're available and not available, and we can say, okay, on this day of this month, I'm going to dedicate for this.
And it's really like an hour.
Yeah, it's only an hour, but definitely, triggers are a thing, and if you don't know how to deal with them, they can cause issues, in your relationship, in her case, right? And depending how long they've been together, like we said, is she already comfortable enough to have told him that, her history of the relationship she was in before? So
I love that song. I sing it at the top of my lungs.
Okay.
So,
I felt that.
Okay, I'm glad she wrote into us.
Yeah, of
Yes.
course. I will reply back. Well, I'm pretty sure. Thank you, Ashley.
And I'm sure that if it shows up in her relationship, I'm sure it probably shows up in other relationships in her life. Like not just her romantic relationship, but probably her friendships and other things too.
Me, I don't know. I'm a very, very private person, and I'm very skeptical of who I tell my business to. I really feel like that I really gotta be married and on some couple of years type of stuff to kind of, state, like, tell that person what I've been through, because people have really done been through a lot that kept them from coming over the edge. So you also got to be mindful of who you share your business to, you know what I'm saying? Because it is guys out there that say they love you, and the minute that they get hurt, you hurt them, they like, okay, I'm gonna hurt you.
Mhm.
Like I was talking to this guy. I promise he swore up and down we was talking for 30 years. You know.
Jay, please.
Yes, let's talk about it. So I'm the question here. Let's put this on the table.
Period.
Okay.
Toxic. Period.
Exactly. So hear my story, y'all. I told Nisha tried to help me out, but it just didn't work. See, I was talking to him for I can say 2 months. I swear he swore up and down that he knew me. He called. He said I was angry. He said I didn't let him talk or nothing. But he want to marry me in December.
That's what he said.
Girl, yes.
What he said? I didn't know that.
Girl, I told you. Well, let's get back to yeah, he said he wanted to get married in December. He literally told me he wanted to get married in December. Then I'm like, okay, if I'm angry, I'm upset, but he don't understand that I done had 3 dates at the beginning of this year. So I'm not for he the type of he calls me on the phone and he tell me what he going through. He like, oh, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. So I kind of give my advice to him and he like, oh, you think I'm one of your clients?
Shut up, Jay.
You think I'm your you my therapist. No, I just need you to just sit there and listen. Oh, well, how the hell I know that you call my phone, wake me up at my good sleep, and you want me to sit here and listen? You need to acknowledge that. You need to say that you want me to listen. But yeah, he was crazy, y'all. So y'all gotta be mindful. These people was actually crazy, and he was obsessed. This man got upset with me because he hadn't talked to me in 3 days, like we was in a relationship. And he was like, "You need to accept your accountability." And I'm like, "What? I'm not with you."
For me, from what I saw with this guy, I mean, I've only talked to him like twice for maybe an hour apiece. And from what he told me and what she told me, it just kind of sounds like he's just desperate for love. That's really what it just sounds like. Yeah, he got some things he needs to work through himself on why he wants love so bad.
Yeah, because he was he been single for 3.5 years. So of course you desperate. Of course you want that, you know. But I can't give that to you because I just got out of a relationship for 3 years.
He might want a double income.
He want a what?
Double income. That's true. He might be thirsty for some more money or somebody to help take care of him.
Baby, broke.
He might want a double income.
Baby, what? What money?
He might think you got a whole lot of money. You probably got more money than he do.
Baby,
at
he
the very least.
Sure, he gonna get here and get disappointed and see how much shopping I do and how much I spend on my daughter and how much I go on trips and stuff like that. Hell, he might just leave me. So I might do need to show him what type of lifestyle I'm living.
Do the sound effects again.
Oh. So sure, I might do need to call him up and say, you know what? Come take 2 weeks with Jay. I bet your ass get the running. Okay, girl. I'm just.
Yeah, but I think it goes back to, like you said, he coming to you, and maybe he wasn't soliciting. He wasn't soliciting advice. He was soliciting a listening ear. So we also got to be mindful and know the other person. And if you know that other person well, then oh, they just want a listening ear. So I'm just gonna sit here and listen. And sometimes for me, it's just in me to want to give advice, and I'll ask. I'm like, well, can I give you some advice if it's okay? If that's fine. If you don't feel like I'm gonna step on your toes, or if I don't want to come off as the knowing of all things, and the person will tell me, oh yeah, go ahead, or they'll tell me right off the bat, hey, I'm coming to you because I need some advice on this and this happened. So I know when to solicit advice and not solicit advice. I've had to learn that. So
and I don't know. Usually, like if they're they just start off talking about it, or the conversation leads into it, I'll let them finish, and then I'll be like, okay, did you want me to kind of give you advice, or did you want to just need somebody to talk to? And then from there, I'll just try to meet that person's needs the best that I can. Just because I don't know, I've just noticed that that's just the type of person that I am. I'm just a giver. I like to give people that I care about whatever that they need in the moment, even if that
I think
means
we
I
all
have to be selfless.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I think we all are givers here.
Yeah, we are.
Roberta, why are you looking like that?
I need to say
Roberta?
no. I need to learn how to
Boundary.
say no. I have a really hard saying no.
What am I looking like?
You was like this.
Look at her.
Yeah, but you said boundaries, Jay.
Yeah,
What am I looking like?
Yeah.
you're looking like it. Question for Jay: do you still communicate with him?
Please
Girl,
That's a good
girl,
question.
girl. No, he do call me. I do feel because I do want him as a friend
Do you still
because
talk to him?
I'm starting to feel sorry for him. You know what I'm saying? Like because he is sweet. You know what? You want me one more time, okay? But no. I just feel sorry for him. You know what I'm saying? Because
care for him.
you know what I'm saying? And then he be calling me all kind of cute and sexy and stuff. He make me feel all real good and stuff like that. So, so I try to keep people on my team. I mean, I try to I try to keep people around me like that. You know what I'm saying? Call me beautiful, call me sexy every day. You know what I'm saying? Tell me I'm your daddy. I like stuff like that.
You
What?
Hilarious. You're hilarious.
What about you?
What Roberta just called that? Would you like it? Yes, I'm daddy. Okay. I am. I am.
Oh
man.
my goodness.
All right. Well, how many minutes we got?
We got 3 minutes, y'all.
We got how many? One?
This is
3.
new.
3 minutes.
Three? Did y'all want to? Oh, thank you. Did y'all want to talk about another aspect? I kind of just want to start wrapping. What y'all think?
Just tell me. I just want everybody a point. How can I tell people no? Like, how
You
can
gotta
I
start off small.
That comes with practice.
practice? Start off small.
Yeah.
What you think?
Say no. Just say no.
Just
So
say
they
it.
come in, hey Jay, can I have no?
I say
For
no.
me, like I had a hard time saying no to, especially like family members. So like for me, it started out as avoiding questions,
Just like that.
and then it got to where I would say, "I wish I could," because I didn't want them to feel bad, but I can't right now.
Right. Well, I'm gonna just use the Kevin Hart.
I like that.
Like I'm gonna just use the Kevin Hart. See the way my bank account set up. It just can't transfer money.
I like that.
because it's
Nisha.
put a
I
whole
like. I wish I
savings.
could,
Yeah.
but right now I can't. I
And
think we
to-
should practice that, and I think that should be something people take from this. I wish I could, but I can't. And take away barriers. Try to make boundaries. I mean, set boundaries up. Take time for yourself, and that it's okay to not be okay. And I think that's something I tell myself that a lot. So I think that's something we can practice. Just telling ourselves it's okay to not be okay. I don't have to be strong all the time.
Okay.
Start off small.
Boy, y'all cute or whatever. Y'all got y'all little heads on straight. I like that. Y'all very classy.
No.
Cute. It's cute.
No, I don't. We're working through it.
Yes, you do. You got
What
it.
Roberta said, words of affirmation. Yes, you do.
Yeah, y'all talk good.
Smart, use kind.
I see y'all putting it all on the table. It's
We
okay.
put it all on the table tonight.
And tune in next week, y'all. 8:00 sharp every Monday.
Every Monday at 8.
Next week, who's gonna be next week? Jackie, is it you next week?
I would say Roberta, since I'm gonna be in vacation mode, I'm not gonna be worried about trying to put anything together. I'm just gonna be honest.
Big sis,
I'm
we
excited
ready for you.
this.
Well, I'm your girl Jay with the ish.
I'm Nisha, the social
advocate. Jackie, the wellness advocate.
And Roberta, the cool lady. Peace.
No, that's right.
Bye, y'all.